is a game where you have two teams that are really, really excited about being here.
Really just to get a win against South Carolina to play an SEC team. I would say that these guys are probably playing as good as anybody in the SEC at the end of the year to win those last 6 games.
If you're not in the playoff, this is where you want to come.
And with that, welcome into Gamecock Saturday night. As you can tell, our backdrop a little different than inside the Columbia studio back in South Carolina. We're live on the road in Orlando. Sports Director Chaz Frazier joined alongside Noah Chast, man. Beautiful weather here, warm.
Oh, it's great.
Palm trees everywhere.
Little sticky, but hey, we're used to that over in Columbia. It's just a little bit warmer this time of year down here. Beautiful sight right here. Camping World Stadium right behind us, host and home of the Pop-Tarts Bowl that was earlier today. And just a couple days, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, that's right. South Carolina and Illinois, they're going to take center stage right behind us. Let's take a look at some of the video today. Shane Beamer, Lenora Sellers, and the Gamecocks all prepping for that big-time Citrus Bowl coming up. A pair of 9-win teams. They're hoping to get to 10 wins. South Carolina, this is a team that has fire under them. They want that 10th win, just the 5th time in program history. Shane Beamer talking about a player leader-led meeting in the season after this team was 3-3. That really lit this team on fire.
Oh yeah, it was a moment that turned the team around. They talked about, they said, hey, what are we going to do now after losing these couple games to Bama and Ole Miss? And they said simply, win out. And they said, we're tired of this feeling. And they've done that, and they have a chance to do it for one more game.
Here's Shane Beamer.
I'll meet with them every Wednesday after practice and talk about things that are on my mind and talk about things that are on their mind. And I usually start each meeting like, what's on y'all's minds, what you want to talk about, and they didn't say a word other than went out. There's no other option. And I think it's Debo and Tonka sit down there on the far end of the table with Boogie, and once one of them said it, they all agreed, went out. And I said, okay, that's great to say, but we have to perform better. We got to coach better and play better than what we've been doing in some areas for that to happen. And they committed to it, and they've been on a mission since then as well, to not just say it, but to be about it as well, to do it.
I love that insight right there from Shane Beamer, head Gamecock football coach. He took us behind the curtain. The leader stepping up, saying, hey, we got to win now. And what did they do? They rattled off 6 games in a row, and we're here in Orlando now.
Oh, they went and they played the best football of really any team in the country, and it is so unfortunate that they did not make that 12-team playoff. I know they wanted it and they would prefer to be there, but being here is such an accomplishment, right? It's a whole week, a treat to go and explore the fun of Orlando, and it is one of the most prestigious and highly regarded bowl games, the Citrus Bowl. Cheez-It Citrus Bowl choosing the best team from the SEC to not make the playoff, and they handpicked South Carolina because of how they finished the season.
Oh, yeah, nothing to hang your head about being here in Orlando. Beautiful weather, palm trees. How about this? Some great food. The team going to Fogo de Chao, a steakhouse, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Where was our reservation?
Exactly. I was looking for our reservation as well. Just one of many great events. Orlando Magic game, Universal Studios this evening. I asked Shane Beamer what it means and how big of a bonding trip this is beyond on the gridiron. Here's what he had to say about how this team is just becoming closer on and off the gridiron here in Orlando.
You come in and you get a week together, and we've talked about it as a team, that we've had some awesome moments as a team in 2024 on and off the field. And this week we'll be able to create many more moments, whether it's today at Fogo de Chao and the Magic game tonight, or tomorrow at Universal Studios, or whatever else they got going on this week. That's what's great about bowl games and why I love bowl games so much. And we talked about it this morning in our team meeting, that this is the last 4 days that this team will ever be together, and make sure that we don't waste this opportunity that we have down here in Orlando, on and off the field, know when it's time to have fun, which there's certainly time for that, and know when it's time to work, and there's obviously a lot of time for that too.
And it's such a great perspective from Shane Beamer. He caught a little bit of flack online because he was talking about the one thing he didn't love about the college football playoff is you make that first round game and you're the road team, you lose. That's the end of your season. You play one game and it's over. Obviously, you'd want that chance, but if you're on the losing side, it's over. Here, you get this time to spend with your players' families, their loved ones, all that, and that one last bonding week with a huge game for it with this team.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. You and I were talking about this before we came on Gamecock Saturday night. It's great to come to these marquee bowl games in beautiful Florida. I mean, the offensive coordinators, defensive coordinator, players, head coaches. I'm out at dinner with my family, and I see them walking around. It's just such a joy to see them enjoying themselves. Obviously, they're going to want to win a big-time game.
Sure, and the games have been electric so far. The bowl games that we've seen have already been a ton of fun. The ones today, the ones earlier. I mean, the Hawaii Bowl on, I think it was Christmas Eve, going like quadruple overtime. It's been great, so you want to play in these games. You want to have this experience, and this team's soaking it up.
Absolutely. We're just getting started here live from Orlando, just outside of Camping World Stadium. We have much more. The offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for South Carolina spoke today. We're going to hear from them, plus the players. So much more coming your way. We're live in Orlando. You're watching Gamecock Saturday night on ABC Columbia. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back into Gamecock Saturday night. We're live on the road with the Gamecocks in Orlando, Florida, just outside of Camping World Stadium. Chaz, Frazier joined alongside Noah Chast. This team has a ton of storylines. Today it was all about the coordinator speaking. Brand new offensive coordinator Mike Shula and defensive coordinator Clayton White spoke today. And Shula, he's taken over the reins for Dow Loggins as the offensive coordinator. It's been a great transition. He's talked about how reinvigorated he has been taking over and leading this group.
Oh, yeah, and it's been an interesting scenario, right? Taking over this Gamecock offense with just, a couple weeks before a huge bowl game. But luckily, he has been involved with the team throughout the year as one of these offensive analysts. So it was more of a just, sliding into a new role versus coming in with everything fresh. But he's excited to take on this new offensive load as the guy calling plays.
We're thrilled to be here. It's it's postseason. Playing in late December and January. That's our goal every year, and to be able to come down here in Orlando at one of the most prestigious bowl games throughout college football, we're excited. And for me personally, a lot's changed over the last couple of weeks. Super excited, very grateful for this opportunity to represent the University of South Carolina and to work with guys like this. And we're excited about our matchup. We know we got our work cut out for us against a really good Illinois defense and a good football team, and just want to put our best foot forward and play 4 solid quarters of football.
And Noah, Shane Beamer has been raving about Mike Shula. Of course, he coached at Alabama from 03 to 06. He has a long history in the NFL. He coached Cam Newton during their Super Bowl season. So a lot to be excited about for Gamecock fans in their future with this offense, with a great quarterback and so many developing weapons.
He's got the experience and the camaraderie with a running quarterback, and I know him and Lenoris have a great relationship. Now, the defense, they have a great relationship with tackling opposing offensive players into the ground. Right. And we'll talk about the historic numbers that they have reached this season and whether they deem themselves historic. But for Clayton White, this defense, they do have their hands full this week with Illinois. This is a team that's ended the season by scoring 38 points in 3 straight games, the first time they've done that in program history, or since 2010, I should say. And they have a really good quarterback in Luke Altemeyer. He's a watch list player for 4 or 5 different quarterback watch lists. So they have to really take care of business with this defense. I know Clayton White has them up to the task.
Obviously proud of how our guys attacked this year from January 1st. We knew that we had an opportunity the way we ended last year in 2023. If we got the nucleus back and added a couple pieces and then some freshman pop, that we had a chance to be one of the best defenses. We knew that. We said that right after the Clemson game last year. But yes, it's very humble and very humbling, and I'm grateful for all that good old stuff that you guys, the contract extension, to me, being here at Gamecock is the most important thing. I think, obviously what Shane has built here, I think we definitely want to continue to keep it going. But it was very important for us to come back, get those guys back and have a great year, but we're excited about it.
Yeah, Clayton White, he has a lot to be excited about. He's now the highest paid assistant under Shane Beamer. So he got that key extension a couple of weeks ago, and very deserving. This defense has popped off the screen. They have all the numbers you want to have. They have all the players, and they developed the players. You know a thing or two about that.
I do. And Clayton White, his name circulated in those head coaching rumors for a little bit, and the staff of South Carolina made sure, let's keep this guy home because he makes what could be historic defenses. There was a bit of a rising quote that came out earlier in the season or preseason, and this defense is going to see if they lived up to that. We'll have that coming up on the other side of this break. We'll be right back here from Orlando, Camping World Stadium.
Man, the defense is nasty. Like, we got some dudes. A bunch of trenches came in, and a bunch of guys are turning, you know, like up front. We got Boogie, TJ, Tonk, Debo, linebacker, Bam at linebacker, me and DQ in the back end, OD on the corner spot. D Knight came from Charlotte. Bengali Kamara came from Pitt. We're stacked on defense. Like, we got a good defense. I think it's going to be like one of the historical defenses this year for sure. I'll stamp that for sure. Like, it's going to be a fun year.
How about that? That's what you call standing on business, as Nick Imamwari would say. That's the Irmo native. A little background to that conversation. We were at a card show earlier in June, and I just asked him, hey, how's the defense looking this summer? And he gave us that golden soundbite.
Oh, yeah.
Not just all talk. He leads the team with 85 tackles, 4 interceptions, 2 returned for a pick 6. So standing on business, he was right. It's a historical defense.
Stand on business, talk the talk, and then his defense walk the walk. I mean,
Yes,
they were
sir.
among the best in the country in turnovers and interceptions and sacks. They had players like Kyle Kennard go and be the Nagarsky Award winner, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Dylan Stewart, this rising true freshman who's making waves all over the place. They had guys all over the map as he laid out there. And at the end of the season, him and some other senior defensive leaders, they answered the question now that the regular season was over: was this defense historic?
I think we did. I think 5 to 10 years, 15 years down the road, we'll look back and we'll say, like, this was probably like one of the best defenses to come through South Carolina.
I feel like we lived up to that a little bit. We could have done better, but from what he said, I feel like we did what we were supposed to do.
And he's taken down and loses the football. South Carolina scoops it up, and the Gamecocks, Tonka Hemingway, will walk it in for a 36-yard scoop and score.
The 2024 Gamecocks were the best in the country at forcing fumbles, averaging nearly 2.5 per game.
I believe it lived up to that because we believed in that belief, that motto of being the best and being historic.
They were top 10 in sacks with 40 and top 15 in interceptions with 13 picks.
Intercepted! O'Donnell Fortune with the pickoff in the end zone!
Just the impact we had and the season we had, it was a crazy season. Like, it feels good to play on a defense like this. So I think we did live up to that.
Free ball for Inouye. He's got his second pick of the game.
The Gamecock defense was top 15 in both yards and points allowed and was the driving factor for South Carolina's 9-3 record and 6-game winning streak to end the season.
I think there's way more we could have done, but with that being said, I also do think we did some really, really good things this year. And so just super proud of the whole team, the defense especially. And so I think we did pretty good for ourselves this year.
We didn't let it just go to waste. We didn't just say it just to get another thing up on the wall in here or things like that or something to advertise to recruits, but we lived that. We lived it out on and off the field. And I believe that's why you see the type of recruits that we're getting here. People are starting to realize what this place is truly about. And I think being a historic defense helps with that.
But to be truly historic, this defense wants a shutout.
I feel like outside views, we probably lived up to it. Personally, what I was saying all summer and media day and stuff, going for donuts, we wasn't able to do that. So we still got to do it in this bowl game. So it's stuff we got to do as a defense and handle. So we haven't lived up to it yet.
Man, Debo Williams, he's all business. When you ask him a question, you're kind of like, man, wait, was that a dumb question or something? Because he just gives you so much
He locks in.
intensity.
He makes me a little nervous, honestly.
They still got a chance in Camping World Stadium to get that shutout.
It's going to be tough to get a shutout. The other thing that's going to be tough is dominating the line of scrimmage. Both these teams and both these conferences, SEC, Big Ten, prideful about their physicality. Which line will have the advantage? Some of the big boys answer that question today.
It's really exciting because when you go up against physical teams, it always comes to who's going to be the most physical team. So you always pride yourself on physicality. So you always want to be able to be the guy to come out on top and show everybody that you are the most physical guy. So it's been on top of our board and something we're really
just have respect for their whole team. Like Coach said, great coach team, great players, and so just have the same respect for each team we play. Just nameless, faceless opponents kind of thing. Have great respect for them, but we're just going to go out there and execute our game plan, play hard.
And it will be a challenge for both these D and offensive lines. This Illinois line, I mean, they're stacked with, all-team Big Ten offensive linemen. So this defense will have a challenge to be historic, and getting a shutout won't be easy, but I know they're going to try their hardest.
Yeah, good old Big Ten SEC matchup. It's going to be fun here at Camping World Stadium in just a couple days when South Carolina will take on Illinois and the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. We'll be right back with more Gamecock Saturday night coverage on the other side of this break. Hey, welcome back into Gamecock Saturday night. Chaz, Frazier, Noah, Chast on the road with the Gamecocks. We're live in Orlando, just outside of Camping World Stadium, where the Cheez-It Bowl will be played between South Carolina and Illinois. You know, Noah, it's a very interesting time. College football programs are juggling the transfer portal, bowl game opt-out. South Carolina in a great spot. Only 2 opt-outs in this day and age, and they picked up 8 transfers, some key names that people are raving about for South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, they got some guys filling in those defensive positions that are going to be leaving with these seniors graduating and going to the draft, some cornerbacks, some offensive linemen, D tackles, but really none that made more waves than quarterback Aaron Nolan. He's coming from Ohio State, young guy, hasn't even played there, and will presumably be the backup here, but he's a former 4 or 5-star type of guy. Yeah. And so, people wondering, what's going on with Sellers. Is he going to stay? Why is this guy coming over here? Shane Beamer, Mike Shula, they answer those questions as to why they brought in quarterback Aaron Nolan.
We want to be about, collecting good football players, especially at that position, and making the University of South Carolina a place where quarterbacks are commodity, so to speak.
Credit to him, because all he wanted was once an opportunity to compete. And you guys know that I've said this to you last year, that there were quarterbacks that were very interested in South Carolina last year because of Spencer, that wanted to come here, that ended up going to other schools and started in Power 4 conferences this year. But they didn't come here because I wouldn't promise them the starting job, and didn't promise Air anything but the opportunity to compete. Didn't promise him the backup job, nothing. He saw an opportunity to learn under Lenoris, and also to learn under Coach Shula.
Oh, man, that's going to be fun next spring to watch those two compete. When I think about the quarterback room for South Carolina, it's iron sharpening iron. You got 2 good quarterbacks, a young quarterback in Cutter Woods coming from the Greenville area. So South Carolina's quarterback room, it's
loaded,
becoming to be loaded and elite. And South Carolina is not the only one that knows that, right?
No, absolutely not. And the good thing is Lenoris Sellers, he proved he's not going anywhere. He did ink a little bit of cash to stay here in South Carolina, got a $2.7 million NIL deal. I'll ask him nicely maybe sometime this week. I don't think that's how it works. But he's not going anywhere, and he's especially not going anywhere for this game. He's going to cause some problems for Illinois. Their defensive coordinator, Aaron Henry, he had high praise for Sellers and how he tried to game plan against this guy.
Facing a young man like Lenoris Sellers, I think he's a little bit different. The reason why he's a little bit different is because he is 6'3", and I think he's 230, 225. I mean, he's just a bigger target. He has a live arm. Obviously that they're on a really, really hot game win streak, and he was a freshman of the year for a reason, and he's done a really, really good job for him. But I do think over the course of the last couple of years, some of the teams that we have played, they have helped us to a degree prepare for a young man of this caliber. It's not like we're going into this game blind.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. The entire country, they're going to get to see Lenoris Sellers on New Year's Eve right here behind us at Camping World Stadium. I know we can't wait. I know Gamecock fans can't wait. And the entire country is going to see what Sellers and this explosive offense has to offer.
You thought the Pop-Tarts Bowl was a show. Wait till Lenoris Sellers puts on his show.
Absolutely. All right, we got one more block, and we're going to put a bow on this show. We're live from Orlando. We'll be right back with more coverage on Gamecock Saturday night. Welcome back into Gamecock Saturday night. We're live on the road with the Gamecocks. Chaz Frazier joined alongside Noah Chast. And the game before the game, the Pop-Tarts Bowl here at Camping World Stadium, it's turned into one of the most, the largest spectacle of college football games, right?
No,
bowl games.
It has. They've done a great job marketing it, with the Pop-Tart being eaten. They put the toaster in the trophy. Great job. And you got to give a shout out to Florida Citrus Sports. They're the ones who, put on these bowl games. And here's the good thing. They put on the Pop-Tarts Bowl. They're also put on the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. It's the same company putting it on, so we're going to, switch gears from delicious Pop-Tarts to
We're
some
feeling cheesy.
to
We're
some
feeling
Cheez-It. Yeah, it was a cheesy little transition there, but it's the Cheez-It Bowl time. We're gonna go from breakfast to lunch or snack time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
Extra
hold on.
toasty.
I'm more of a white cheddar type of guy. These
Okay.
are my favorite. I haven't eaten these in a while, but let me give it a taste.
Yeah, and I know our cameraman, he loves the Cheez-It snap. Here you go, Jeff. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go.
That's
Couple
some,
Cheez-Its.
that's some pretty bad throwing for him. I'm not getting signed to any $2.5 million NIL deals anytime soon.
I'm no Lenore Sellers, but we'll make sure no one sees that. All right. If someone sees that, I know who showed it.
Yeah. Well, good thing there's more Cheez-Its and better quarterback throwing to come when the Cheez-Its Bowl comes up in just a couple days on New Year's Eve at 3 p.m. on ABC Columbia.
Yep, he's Noah Chast. I'm Chaz Frazier. We're just getting started with our coverage here in Orlando. We got you covered on Monday and Tuesday ahead of the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl between South Carolina and Illinois. Good night. We'll see you soon.